trying to say it, and we couldn't say it because we didn't have mossad here, and we couldn't out people. So all of the people who were saying, why are they being cryptic? Because we're trying to respect the victims, right? That's why we're being cryptic. One of the things was asked, and she wants to clear the air. She did message me. I'm not leading the conversation. It's very painful and tough, and we should respect that. So it's my honor to help her communicate that. She said, he tricks you and convinces you of everything. And I'm going to start with something that she can obviously just jump right in. She's a very incredibly intelligent woman. Okay. Mossad is not a dummy. I've gotten to know her before this. Very sophisticated, worldly, traveled, and intelligent. And when I had told her of an event where there was sexual harassment, and the person is no longer, M's not with the team, and I had once in the recent past was asked, is he a nice guy? I said he's a great guy, because I thought he was. And I reached out to anyone I ever said that to. I didn't have to. I called them and said, listen, I just got to be honest with you. I don't talk to you much, but this would happen. And I can't, any vouching I did, nix it. And this is the thing that was weird. It took her a week or so to even consider what I was saying could have been true. And I think people need to hear that, because this is why there are still people in the hook. And so, Mossad, could you explain, I was trying to help, and I didn't even know about the trip. And it wasn't until the last minute, over just a fluke of chance, I mentioned a detail that another victim said, and something snapped. Do you feel comfortable telling the audience? It might help other women that are going, what was it? Thanks.
Yeah. So what happened was I stopped talking to Joe right around the time that I started talking to M. I was completely separate from Joe. Joe did call and try to warn me, and I completely lied to Joe, saying that I was in fact not in contact with him, and I had no idea what he was talking about, and to, in not a nice way, fuck off and leave me alone. And Joe was just kind of like, all right. And then a few days later, I got another phone call from him, and he started sharing details with me about what someone else had told him. So I confronted him, and he gave me the excuse that he has given to literally dozens of other people that I've spoken to, um, which is, babe, they're just jealous. It's a smear campaign. This has nothing, to do with anything. We're a team. It's me and you. Don't listen to it. It's a giant smear campaign. So obviously a part of your brain doesn't want to believe it. So I left it. And I actually blocked Joe. Um, didn't want to hear from
Can you
him.
go? Can you go back to the why you stopped talking to me, so people know what he does? You stopped talking to me because he did what?
He stopped talking to me. I stopped talking to Joe because he was telling me that Joe was trying to use him as a honeypot. I did donate to the Maria report previously, and that Joe was just after me for money, and then followed by like a bunch of other really not nice things. And to be like totally honest, like Joe sometimes can be a bit unhinged on spaces. It wasn't a really far jump. So
Okay, no, but what about the stealing? Like he said a lot of things. Forget
yeah,
about the
Joe, I'm not
personality.
I'm not like getting into all that.
Okay,
So
okay, never mind.
like basically, long story short, I actually blocked Joe. And a couple days after I blocked Joe, because I just thought Joe was being Joe and M had already, explained himself, I got a call from a completely unrelated lawyer, um, who kept telling me not to go. It sounded insane. I kept hanging up. They kept calling me back. And then, like I said, 3 victims came forward who have actually been to Cairo and showed me all the receipts and showed me their text messages. He might as well have just copied and pasted our entire relationship, because
And so
that's what it was.
the reason why I mentioned, I'm sorry, going back, the reason why I'm saying what he did is not, doesn't mean me. It could be anyone. He attempts to silo you, the victim, and I'm speaking to people who are potential. He silos you from people he thinks could tell you the truth or could catch him. So what I'm saying is, I had a great relationship with Mossad up until she started talking to him, and then it was gone. And I was like, so I was shocked about it, but I don't really, she's an internet person. I didn't really care. But what he does is, as soon as he gets his claws into you, he begins to, what do you call it, isolate you from people that he feels could screw around with his game. That's actually what I was trying to get at, Mossad. So that if you're a person who you met M through another person, and all of a sudden M's like, by the way, that person sucks. They're a thief. They're bad. They're shitty. Look at how angry he is. Then that could be a telltale sign for you. Okay. So the thing is, when in my case and with Mossad, when there were things that just didn't seem right, and I could feel something wrong, I'd ask that lawyer who had called me earlier, and I said, "Could you please speak to her?" And let me tell you something, he didn't want to. He's a lawyer. He didn't want to get involved. Like Brian